Rapides Parish was selected as a model site for MacArthur Foundation's Models for Change work shortly after I became juvenile judge. As Louisiana evolved in its progress towards juvenile justice reform, Rapides explored the various points of contact for youth entering into the juvenile justice system and developed data connected to those points. Those explorations quickly led to the Informal Status Offense Program as overseen by the court, which we refer to in Louisiana as FINS, or Family in Need of Services. The design of informal FINS was to connect families to services, but far too often we were using the court system, believing that the judge and the court was the best path towards healing for the family. When we ultimately looked at the data, we were all surprised to learn that many of the youth referred to informal FINS were not successful and had failed in school and in their homes. This was not acceptable, and it ultimately is what prompted us to change our status offender system. At the same time that we were having these conversations locally, there was a movement at the state level for the development of community-based responses to the needs of children and family. And the state legislature called for the creation of local children and youth planning boards. Because Rapides, although now fairly large in size, still operates with a more rural flair, we already had a functioning group meeting monthly discussing and trying to solve child and family issues. So the full development of a planning board was easily achieved and helped us formalize the work we were already doing. The board consisted of not only political leaders, but also providers, with all being key decision makers within their areas of expertise. Within our first few meetings, we agreed to form an interagency service committee designed to review on a weekly basis every child that was at risk of being removed from his or her home or school. Those discussions, of course, led us all to become more enlightened, involved, and committed to further reform. The board also sought to explore evidence-based practices and programs to better assist families within their homes and schools so that they could achieve stability outside of the court system. The Rapides story is really a story about connecting the data. Connecting the data helped us to ultimately connect with and offer more meaningful and targeted help to our families. As a result of our reforms, including evidence-based programs and the Interagency Service Committee, we now have better informed and even enlightened stakeholders across all segments of the system and function as an integrated and fully connected system. We have achieved 40% reduction in the number of informal FINS referrals and a 50% reduction in the number of informal FINS that have ended up in court. We've also witnessed a reduction in the number of youth suspended and expelled from school. Providers report that more and more families are pursuing evidence-based programs voluntarily, instead of waiting to be referred by the court. And law enforcement is experiencing fewer calls from families seeking help for their children. All in all, more and more Rapides families are getting the help they need outside of the court system. I hope you'll read more about our tremendous work here in Rapides in our Notes from the Field profile, and that it will inspire you to seek out change in your community.